Oh, we're the men of Texaco. We work from Maine to Mexico. There's nothing like this Texaco of ours. Our show tonight is powerful. We'll wow you with an hour full of howls from a shower full of stars. We're the merry Texaco men. Tonight we may be showmen. Tomorrow we'll be servicing your cars.
Hello and welcome to Armchair Theater's presentation of classic television, your favorites from the 1950s. I'm your host, Dale Reed. In 1951, network television as we know it today was formally kicked off with the completion of the nationwide link-up of the East and West coasts with everything in between. In the early days of TV, NBC had the largest audiences with Milton Berle, Groucho Marx, Gale Storm, and many other top shows. By the mid-1950s, CBS, with its Jack Benny, Arthur Godfrey, George Burns, and Gracie Allen lineup, started to win the ratings war, a lead it proudly retained for over 2 decades. Over the years, America's love affair with television has matured from initial infatuation to an accepted part of everyday life. Today, 99% of all U.S. homes have at least one television set. It truly is everywhere. Join with us now as we journey back to the golden age of television. It's your time to visit a panorama of shows and stars that captivated America during the glory years, the wonderful entertaining nights of television in the fabulous 50s. Riverboat is a Western adventure of a different sort. Set on the 100-foot stern-wheeler the Enterprise, this hour-long show takes a look at life along the Mississippi, Missouri, and Ohio rivers during the 1840s. Darren McGavin stars as Gray Holden, former fighter, rum runner, swordsman, dock foreman, and soldier. When he wins the Enterprise in a poker game, he's determined to make a profitable venture of it, which naturally calls for more adventurous schemes than merely hauling passengers and freight up and down the river. McGavin was already a seasoned television actor by the time he went to work on Riverboat. Perhaps his best-known role at the time was Mickey Spillane's Mike Hemmer. Later in life, he gained infamy as Kolchak, the Night Stalker. Burt Reynolds appeared in his first continuing role as Ben Fraser, Holden's pilot, although he was replaced midway through the first season by Noah Beery, Jr. Riverboat ran from September 1959 to January 1961. The 44 episodes produced earned the show a healthy following of TV viewers who were intrigued by this fascinating part of American history and who were also entertained by the easygoing McGavin and his colorful crew. Here now is an exciting adventure aboard the Riverboat.
Anybody home? Come on in.
Get yourself a gun, huh? Why you?
Because I got here first.
We We can't stay here, Crowley.
Listen, when whoever owns the place comes back, we'll grab them. Don't worry about it.
There's no prison guards to stop us now. What are you afraid of, Egan?
I don't know which is worse. Living 2 days in that stinking swamp, or spending time in a Hillsborough prison.
Egan, you made your choice when we broke out.
And he's dying.
Lear. Lear, where have you got the money buried, Lear?
I already took 3 bullets from him. He's bleeding like a stuck pig.
Yeah, we took you with us, didn't we?
Even though you're blind.
Nobody could help that the 2 guards just got you. I'll tell you where the body is. Why'd you break my sod? You tell him who wants him. He'll come. Wider. Okay. Over here. Got you one? All right. Open up again. Move your tongue open. Move your tongue open. That one. All right. Okay. Oh, he's got to come out, Granny. That's very simple. We're going to tie a string to one end of the tooth, and then to the doorknob here, set you back there, slam the door.
No, Skipper. The tooth feels fine now.
Now, listen, Carney, I've been hearing that for 3 weeks now, and I'm sick and tired of being kept awake while you moan away in your cabin.
Well, I don't hanker for no doorknob if you're pulling out my tooth. I'll go see a doc right now.
We don't have the time. I got a cargo to deliver at Grover's Junction by nightfall.
Oh, you bit me! Mr. Blake!
Don't look at me. You've been keeping me awake, too.
Let me keep the tooth. I'll have it out when we get back. It's not bad. Maybe it's better.
Get off this boat. You're going to have that tooth out right here and now.
Well, you just said you couldn't wait.
Yeah, well, I'll manage without you. I'll pick you up here tomorrow morning.
I have to.
Yes, you have to.
He's right, Carney. You're making the whole crew nervous.
Yes. Look, it's the only tooth that ever gave me any trouble, and I don't want to be hasty about having it out.
Get up that plank.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow,
Oh, no,
Carney.
you're going with him.
What are you saying?
And you're staying with him. Now, when I see him in here tomorrow morning, I want that tooth out and no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm making you responsible.
It's just dandy.
Yeah, well, it's going to be dandy if I get a good night's sleep for a change. All right, better cast off all this plank.
Never look back. It's bad luck.
I tell you, I'm feeling no pain.
Oh, yeah?
Look, it's easy for a fella to get somebody else's tooth.
Oh,
pulled. Now
shut
you-
up.
Oh, now you're mad at me, are you?
I'm burning up. Imagine me a master pilot playing nursemaid to a yellow-bellied engineer.
Oh, just a minute, Mr. Blake. Them is kind of harsh words. Would you care for a poke in the nose?
I would only care to get you to a doctor, and I'm going to poke you on the nose unless you just
Move the nose.
I don't feel no more pain.
I suppose it was all a figment of your imagination.
Now you hit the nail right on the head.
I don't think I'll need a doctor after all.
The heck you don't. Come on.
Now, I'm not trying to argue. Let's stop in and have just one little drink. Just to calm my nerves.
Carney, that is not going to do you any good.
Now, I'm not trying to weasel out. Just one little friendly drink, that's all.
One.
This way. Bartender, refreshment for a couple of gentlemen. Whiskey. Another one for being with friends. And another one for being kind enough to accompany me.
Carney, if you think you're getting me drunk, you're off your rocker.
No such thing crossed my mind, Mr. Blake.
Sure.
Oh, look at all that beautiful whiskey.
Let me see that tooth, huh? Which one is it?
I don't remember. Ain't that something? Let's have another one for cheers.
Well, just another one. I tell you what, here's to Captain Holden. The best old captain on the Mississippi.
Here. Mr. Blake, do you know something? I like you.
I like you too, Carney.
Let's have all my teeth out.
Oh, no. One tooth.
Mr. Blake, you are a tribute to the service.
Well, I can say the same about you, Mr. Carney.
Thank you. Oh, ain't this something? Ho, 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 the camels are coming, ho, 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 ho. The camels are coming, ho, 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 ho. I don't feel no pain. I don't feel nothing. I ain't never felt better in my life.
Where did you say the doctor is?
Just around the corner. Do you think he can make it?
It's a good thing one of us is sober, huh?
Oh, friend. Where are we going, old pal? Let's have a drink.
Carney, I'm gonna get you fixed up right
Oh,
Doc! Doc! Over here, Carney. Come on. Oh, Doc!
no.
I got a customer for you, Doc. Hey! Ship ahoy! How do you like that, Carney? Nobody around. Well, that tooth has got to come out, Carney. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Ee, ooh. Carney, Carney. Oh, it's too big. Too big. Way too big. Ah, here's a little baby that's gonna pull that tooth out for you, Carney. Now you just open your mouth, and I'm gonna pull it out, and it ain't going to hurt you or nothing. Oh, you fellas looking for somebody? Just for you, Doc. For me? Well, I'm flattered. What can I do for you?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with me.
Oh. Is something wrong with you?
No, I never felt better.
Well, what's the problem then?
Well, we got an old man back in the country. Hurt real bad. Needs a doctor.
Oh. Hey, you don't want me. Now, besides, I got work to do here.
It's gonna be easier than I thought.
Doc, huh?
Get your bag.
You gentlemen just refuse to understand. I have got a tooth to pull.
We don't have time to argue. Your old man wants to see you.
What, old man?
You have a father, haven't you?
Well, of course I've got a father. Everyone's got a father. What's so special about that?
Yours is dying. And you're gonna fix him up.
Oh, now, look, fellas, you got the wrong man. Honest, you've got the wrong man. I'm no doctor. I can't fix anybody up. Besides, if you want a doctor, you just wait till he shows up here.
Sure, we're gonna wait, all right.
Oh.
like shooting fish in a barrel. Get the bag.
Fellas, now wait. Look, I am no doctor. You want a doctor, send for one.
If we're wrong, Egan, we don't go back. We don't have that much time. Lear might be dead even now.
Lear? Who's Lear?
We know who he is. He's your old man. That's where we're taking you, Doc.
Look. Look at these hands. Now, do those look like the hands of a doctor? Look. Oh!
Don't do that again, mister. You'll be sorry.
Now we'll take a nice, peaceful walk.
Crowley. Crowley. They here yet?
No. Old man, you got any rags? He's bleeding too much.
We ain't got no rags. We ain't got nothing.
Well, you did have a pretty good rifle, old man. And looks like you got something pretty nice here, too.
If you want to use our cabin, you go ahead. You leave her be.
Why didn't you just keep hunting like you said you was doing, huh? Anyhow, another day we would have been out of here. Yes, you sure are pretty, Miss. Come here. You treat me like, that was something pretty bad. I'm not so bad if you act friendly.
Where are you from, mister?
Stop asking questions, gal, and do your cooking.
You shut up. Well, we broke jail. Just waiting around for the doc to take care of you. Old man, what's your name?
Name's Pinty Walters. That's my daughter. We harm nobody.
Well, you'd turn us in if you had the chance, wouldn't you?
We're poor as church mice. We just want to be let alone.
You mean you like living like this?
What's wrong in that? Selling skins in season and firewood when people want it.
Crowley.
Yeah.
Where is he? When's he get there?
You just take it easy. You want to be in good shape when he does come, don't you?
Like he said, you rest easy, Mr. Lear. They ain't far off. They'll be here in no time.
That's done too soon, girl. Done too soon.
My name's Lisa.
Lisa.
There they are. They're coming, Lear.
As ordered. Make it in time.
Well, he's still breathing. The boys give you a hard time, huh, Doc?
I don't know how to use that bag. I'm no more doctor than you are.
He's lying. Took him right out of his office.
I told you you got the wrong man.
Old man, come on out here. You wouldn't try to fool us, would you, Doc?
Fool you? I don't even know what you're up to. How am I going to fool you?
Old man, do you know the people down at Killian Station?
Ought to. Been living here for 20 years.
Well, you look at him and tell me if he's Doc Lear.
Never saw him before in my life.
I told you. You got the wrong man.
You do that once again, and I'll kill you.
You just feel lucky I haven't already killed you.
Are these fellas? Who are they?
They broke out of the jail at Hillsborough. You better do what they tell you, or somebody's going to get hurt.
Nah. Nobody's gonna get hurt, old man. Mister, we just want you to do a favor for us, and then we'll let you go. Who are you?
Well, I'm the pilot on the riverboat Enterprise. And if anybody's got a favor coming to him, it's me, after what you fellas put me through.
Yeah, that's too bad. We inconvenienced you like that. But you see, there's a man dying in there, and all he's been asking is to see his son before he dies. The favor we want you to do is go in there and just sit down and listen to him talk. That's all. You just sit there and listen to him. And after it's all over, we'll go our way and you go yours.
What guarantee?
Well, no guarantee, just our word. But we've got nothing to do with you, mister.
Well, he'll know I'm not his son.
He's blind. He hasn't seen his son for 15 years. Please, all we ask you to do is a favor for a dying man.
Do it, mister. We can't save the old man's life now. He's too far gone. But you might be saving ours.
All I wanted to do was get a friend's tooth pulled. All right. All right.
You stay here.
You're pretty smooth, ain't you?
Well, you have to be around $1,000. Like I've always said. You can't do a thing one way, there's always another. Give me the bag. You two keep your eye on that old man. Here he is, Lear. I brought him for you.
You there, son? Speak up.
Let me look at your wounds here.
Never mind my wounds. Get out, Crowley.
Oh, Lear, I'm a friend of yours.
I said get out!
You asked for this. Go on, do what he says.
Somebody's still in the room. I could tell. Get him out, son. Let me feel your face. You got a mustache, ain't you? It figures. All good doctors have a mustache or a beard. The patients like that, don't they? 15 years.
I don't like it.
You don't like what?
Him in there.
He won't give us any trouble.
Maybe. How sure are you he'll tell us where the money is after the old man tells him?
He'll tell us.
You kept the name Stephen, didn't you? That's what your ma called you. Just before she died. And now you're a doctor. You even sound like a doctor. You made something of yourself. You still live with Sheriff Clay?
Yeah.
I left you at his house with $100 pinned to your shirt. Remember that?
Yeah.
He said he'd take care of you. That night they sent me to prison. 15 years ago.
I can't figure you out, mister. Why are you trying to fool a dying man?
You keep asking questions like that, old man, you ain't gonna live long enough to find out.
How long we waiting?
Till I say.
Here. Take some water.
I guess I'm the last of a breed. never made much of my life, except leaving you to the world to be something. Isn't that right, son? I don't expect no love from you. I just wanted to see you once more before I died. That's why I lied to him. To have him get me out of that jail. I let him think the story was true.
The story? What story?
That before I was caught, I buried $100,000. I never did. It was all a lie. All of it. But I let them think I had. All these years. So they treat me nice in prison. They figured I'd lead them to it someday.
You mean they think you know where the money is? And they think you're telling me? Now?
That's why they helped me escape with them. You get them in here. I'll tell them the truth now. Stevie. Stevie. Stevie! Oh!
That's what he told you, huh?
There never was any money, Crowley. He just told you that story so you'd help him get out of prison. He only wanted to see his son. Looks like you fell for it.
You're lying, mister.
Look, he was going to tell you himself. I was coming for you.
Real convenient. Him dying? Think we're gonna let you walk out of here knowing where $100,000 is buried?
That story was never true.
How come it was for 15 years?
I'm telling you the truth.
You're good. You're a real good liar. With $100,000, you don't have to go back to that boat of yours, do you? Just live like a gent with velvet collars, doe-skin shoes, fancy hotels in San Francisco, maybe, or even a trip to Europe. Yes, sirree, $100,000 can go a long way, can it? Tie that on a rafter. It would be worth lying for, wouldn't it, mister?
I'm telling you the truth.
We'll find out. Put him up on a rafter. Get his boots off.
Tell him where the money is, mister.
I can't. There is no money.
Get back here.
Get back, all of you.
No!
Get moving, you. Run.
Give me that rifle, old man.
Now you get going. Let's not press our luck, son. Where do we lose them?
Well, we're going to have to deal with them sometime.
They don't know this swamp like I do. Let's go through there.
Whiskey.
Oh, you got through that, huh?
Oh,
What do you mean, no? Where you been?
I don't know.
You don't know? Where's Blake?
I thought he'd be waiting for me here.
Waiting for you. He's supposed to stay with you.
Well, the tooth don't hurt no more. It's just my head.
Ooh, you've been drinking. You and Blake got drunk, didn't you?
I guess so, just a little.
Yeah, and you never got to the doctor, did you?
I don't know where we got to. I sobered up about an hour ago and found myself walking in the streets here.
Where'd you come from?
I don't remember. That's why I was looking for Blake to tell me.
To tell you? Well, I'll tell you where. The minute I turn my back, Blake goes out with a dame on each arm. You were out looking for dames, weren't you?
I don't remember seeing none.
Boy, a couple of drunken bums I hired to run my boat. We're gonna go out and find him.
Oh, my head feels like it's coming off.
Yeah, and that's the next step. Go, let's go. Go.
Hey! Slow down, will you?
Wait up, Pa. I'm sorry. Oh, you're traveling too fast.
Oh, no, you're doing fine. But the swamp. I thought I could navigate any place, but this is like being inside the belly of a cow. Are you sure you know where you're headed?
Yes, sir. You can relax. We'll stay here for a while. I'm going to look around. Let me have my rifle.
Take it. Oh. It's just like Quicksilver, isn't it?
That's Pa, all right. You trust him, don't you?
I have no choice.
I ain't never been this close to a riverboat man before.
Well, there's nothing different about us.
But there is. Traveling the way you do and seeing all them different places. Where all you been, mister?
Oh, you don't have to call me mister. My name's Blake.
Blake.
Well, you know, up and down the river, usual places, Cincinnati, St. Louis, New Orleans.
What do the women wear in New Orleans?
Well, same thing they do in St. Louis. Dresses. What's your name? What do they call you?
Lisa. Lisa Walters.
Haven't you ever traveled any place, Lisa?
No place ever. Is it nice downriver? All them big cities and all them fancy dressed ladies. Are they really beautiful? You know, all my life I've wanted me a silk dress with velvet bows on it and rhinestone buckles for my shoes.
Yeah, well, don't you worry, Lisa. A pretty girl like you, you'll get them.
Maybe. Someday.
Someday when you find a fella to give them to you, huh?
I guess a gal would have to be mighty lucky to find a fella to do that.
Where's your pa, anyway? Hey, Mr. Walters!
He be coming. Why can't we just talk a while?
Ah, look at you. Pretty as a picture, both of you.
Look, Mr. Walters, I have got to get back to my boat.
That's where we're taking you. Except it's going to take time.
How much time?
Well, I can't rightly figure. We got to cut around so we don't run into them thieves. Imagine them thinking you know where that money's hid.
Yeah. Look, how far is it to Killian Station?
10 miles.
Well, let's get going,
Sure, but what's the rush?
Lisa, look, can you make your pa understand? I'm in an awful hurry.
We don't want to get caught with them thieves, do we?
I'm not arguing that.
Then I'll take you to the abandoned mine up at Sands Point. We got victuals up there. Cash them for when we go hunting. You ain't married, are you, mister?
Married?
You ain't answered him.
No.
Wait till you eat Lisa's apple pie. Best little old cook you ever seen in all your born days.
Can't we get going now?
Sure enough, I know your problem. Lead the way, boy, right through there. Looking a shine to him, ain't you? Making his story stick real neat.
Story.
He knows where all that money's buried, honey. $100,000.
How do you know?
Got a hunch. Now, there's no better man I could get for you, except one that knows where all that cash is hid.
Pa, that ain't what I want.
I know it ain't. You're a woman.
Hey, you coming?
Be right with you. You're my only child. You deserve the best. Now, I'm getting it for you.
I just like him, Pa. I never met a riverboat man before.
Then just keep up your soft talk and be a lady.
But he wants to get back to his boat.
Except I ain't taking him. I'm going to keep him right here till you win his heart.
Well, how you gonna hold him?
Easy. He can't find his way back to the river, and he knows it.
Hey, Mr. Walters, come on.
$100,000.
But, Pa, you could be wrong. Maybe he don't know where that money's hid.
What have we got to lose either way? He's working, ain't he?
Hey, Mr. Walters, what's holding you up?
Stop hollering. Them fellas are near here. They'll hear us.
All right, but what are you doing back here?
I thought I heard something. No, nothing at all.
Let's go.
Any of these the fellow you're looking for?
Oh, I'm so tired I'm breathing from memory.
We've looked in every saloon and every shack along the waterfront, Mr. Clay.
I told you he had nothing to do with women.
Why don't you shut up? Somebody must have seen him.
What do you look like?
Well, he's kind of dapper, stocky fella, wears a mustache. He's wearing a pilot's cap and a peacoat.
Wait a minute. Would these belong to him?
Where'd you find these?
Up at Doc Lear's house. One up there to turn out the lights?
I thought you said you didn't get up to the doc's house.
I don't remember.
You don't remember. Well, let's go see him.
Wait a minute. That won't do any good. The doc's out of town. Went to Natchez yesterday to a medical society meeting. I put him on the Southern Star myself.
Southern Star, huh?
Doesn't matter which boat he took. I'm more interested in how these things got up at the docks.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he was kidnapped or something.
Kidnapped? He'd want to pay ransom for Blake. Pilots are a dime a dozen.
Not a pilot like Mr. Blake. Oh, just an idea.
Yeah, like the rest of your ideas. Like the idea of you and Blake getting drunk. Come on, Connie, let's get out of here. Sorry to have bothered you, Mr. Clay.
No bother at all. It's all a part of my job.
Yeah.
Wait till you try Lisa's fried chicken one of these days.
Pa, stop talking like that.
You ever think of getting married, Mr. Blake? I'll let you two alone for a while. I gotta stand lookout.
Please. Maybe I ought to go stand lookout. You rest a while.
Wouldn't think of it. No, sir. I know every sound in that swamp out there. Nothing fools me.
Speaking about being fooled, when are you getting me back to my boat? We've been traveling around for 10 hours.
You just leave that to me, son. We got to look out for them fellas out there. They're desperate. You ought to know that.
We lost them hours ago. I don't think you're getting me back to my boat at all. I think you're taking me around in circles. You better not, Pinty.
Are you trying to pull my leg, Mr. Blake?
I'm liable to pull your neck. What are you up to anyway, Pinty?
Pa, I told you you're spoiling everything.
Kind of like an invitation for you to follow, ain't it? These ways, that's the way my old woman got me. Don't be shy, mister. Just 'cause you might be a rich man ain't no reason you can't share it with Lisa. Dress her up in some fancy duds, she'd look like $1 million. At least like 100,000.
Lisa, I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't have talked to your pa like that.
Maybe you was right.
Why do you say that?
Never mind. I just didn't want Pa to say all them things to you about my cooking and being pretty and such.
I don't know much about your cooking, but... Oh, he was right about you being pretty.
Blake, I gotta tell you something. I mean about Pa and me.
What? Tell me what, Lisa?
Well, Pa, he...
Well, Pa, what?
He wants you to marry me.
I'll bet you got a dozen fellas crazy about you.
I don't want just any fella. I want the right one.
And your Pa thinks I'm the right one. 'Cause I know where the money is,
I don't think that.
What do you think?
Well, I didn't think you could do it, honey. But by gum, you did. Landed yourself an educated fella, just like you always wanted to. Congratulations. And now that it's all in the family, will you tell us where that cash is hid, Mr. Blake?
Pa, I don't want the money.
Money never hurt nobody, honey. Boy, I knowed you had it. Knowed you had it all along. You fooled them fellas back there, didn't you?
Yeah, I fooled him, Penny. I fooled him. I guess you thought I wanted to keep that money all to myself, huh? But it's a long way upriver. You're going to have to get me back to my boat so we can get at it at all.
Where upriver?
It's in an iron box, buried on Swog's Point, under the water wheel. $100,000. Now, can we get going, Pindy?
Sure enough, but you better douse that fire so nobody know we've been here. I told you, didn't I, honey?
How long before the raft's ready?
Be ready in a minute. You better get Lisa.
All right. Lisa.
I put my hair up for you, Blake. How do you like it?
Oh, good. Look, it's time to go.
Well, stay a minute.
Oh, I can't. Your pa says the raft is all ready. We've got to get going.
A minute can't hurt none. Blake, ain't you got nothing to say to me?
Say it to you. Like what?
Wouldn't it be nice if we had us a little place of our own and along the river somewhere?
Now stop it, Lisa, stop.
And I could wait for you every night to come bring in McGeegaws from Memphis and New
stop.
Orleans and...
What are you doing to yourself? Look, you're just a young girl and you've got a lot of growing up to do before you think about getting married. Now, you know I'm fond of you, but I don't love you.
I know it. I reckon I knowed it all along.
But then, what are you doing this to yourself for?
A gal's got to have a dream. Doesn't she?
What'd he do to you, Lisa?
Nothing. He just told me the truth. That he didn't love me.
What about that bad money?
There never was any money, Pindy.
No, money?
Not a dime. But you're willing to hock your only daughter to get your filthy mitts on her, weren't you?
I done it for her as well as for
No,
me.
quit trying to weasel out of it. What kind of a father are you, anyway?
I ain't whistling. I didn't just pick anybody. I picked a fellow like you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Now, look, you go on and find your daughter and apologize to her. Go on.
Here, hold it. Drop the rifle. Drop it! You want that girl alive, you better get us to the money and do it right now.
What then?
You just worry about the girl.
There is no money, Crowley.
Mister, you have 5 seconds.
All right. You know Sands Point?
Where's that?
It's an old abandoned mine. Lear buried the money there.
Where's there?
Well, if I told you that, you wouldn't need me then, would you, Crowley?
All right. You lead the way. Come on.
Now, you be nice to me, honey. Maybe I'll let you have a share in my loot, huh?
We just come from the mine.
You get us back there.
But you said there was no money.
Time, Pinty. We need time.
Hold it right there. Clyde, watch the girl and the old man. You move, come on.
Now, don't worry, honey. I'll take good care of it. Oh, stop being brave, old man. You trade over a bottle of whiskey.
Come on, mister, where is it?
Well, it's in this tunnel someplace, about 60 feet. Lear died before he could tell me exactly where it was. Just have to look for it around in here. Hey, here it is!
Took Clyde, had him all tied up.
How'd you do that?
Lisa throwed dust in his eyes, and when he went down, I just kept a-kicking him till I found his jawbone.
Oh. Now do you think you can get me back to my boat?
Like a cricket jumping. Here you go. Oh. There we are.
Can you imagine anybody kidnapping you?
She thought I was worth it.
Yeah, I bet that old man never saw so much money in his life as when they handed him that reward.
He promised me he was going to put her through school with the money.
Yeah? What'd you promise him?
Nothing. Wish I was a little younger so I could have.
Stop fretting, honey. He was too old for you anyhow.
Pa, do you think maybe I could get me a new dress?
Trouble with women. Always worrying about clothes. How about a hat to go with it?
it's fine now, Mr. Blake.
Feeling better, huh?
Hey, Skipper, I'll have that next stop.
Yeah? I should have done this a long time ago.
Now, Mr. Blake!
Oh. Now, why didn't you do that before and save me all this trouble? Save him all this trouble?
Hello, my name is Christopher Lewis, and I'd like to welcome you to the golden age of television, the 1950s. It was a very special time indeed, a time of challenge and freedom and excitement. Television was in its infancy. The airwaves were filled with people like Milton Berle and Ed Sullivan, Hopalong Cassidy, and Loretta Young. For 9 years during the 50s, my mother hosted a weekly anthology series on NBC. It would become one of the most popular shows on television. It earned my mom 3 Emmy Awards and established her as one of the most respected and best-dressed women in America. Now, we're going to travel back to 1953 in just one moment, but first, how did Loretta Young become one of the most popular personalities on television? Well, hers is one of those fairy tale Hollywood stories. My mother's story begins in Salt Lake City, Utah in 1913, when she was born the third of 4 children to Gladys and John Earl Young. By the time Mom was 4, her parents were separated, and Grandma brought her, her brother, and sisters to Los Angeles, where Grandma had a brother who was an assistant director in the movies. It wasn't long before the Young children were appearing in movies themselves. Here they traveled all the way to Catalina Island to appear with Jack Mulhall and Louise Lovely in Sirens of the Sea. This was my mother's very first film role. She played a sea nymph. She has often told me that from the very first time she stepped in front of a camera, she knew she wanted to be a movie star. It didn't take her long to get her wish. For a remarkable 20 years during Hollywood's golden age of the 1930s and 40s, she made almost 100 films and played opposite the biggest leading men in the business. She's best remembered for her films Call of the Wild, The Crusades, and Now Tomorrow, Suez, The Bishop's Wife, and Come to the Stable. But it wasn't until 1947 that she was given the greatest honor in Hollywood, the coveted Academy Award. Frederick March presented it to her for her performance as a Swedish farm girl in the classic The Farmer's Daughter.
That's my heart. You know, up until now, presentations of the Academy Awards have been a purely spectator sport for me. However, tonight I dressed for the stage just in case.
As the 1940s came to a close and the second half of the century dawned, my mother had accomplished more than she had ever dreamed of back when she first stepped before the movie camera. And it was with my father, Tom Lewis, that she would now turn to television. Against the advice of her agents and studio executives, Mom and Dad financed and produced the first episode of a new dramatic anthology series that they called Letter to Loretta. It would star Loretta Young, who would introduce each week's program by answering a viewer's letter. The pilot was sold to the very first company to see it, Procter & Gamble. And in September of 1953, the first Loretta Young show premiered on Sunday night at 10 p.m. For the very first time, a popular motion picture star was now appearing on television.
starring Loretta Young. Miss Loretta Young.
Hello. Some weeks ago, I mentioned to you that my living room here was done by a fine decorator, Gladys Belzer, my mother. Well, I have received many letters about that since. And a couple of them said, "Where did you get those crazy Chinese doors?" But most of them said, "We like your living room, and we'd like very much to meet your mother." Well, when I mentioned this to Mom, she just smiled, you know, like mothers do, and promised nothing. However, my correspondent's name tonight is Sylvia. It's a pretty name, isn't it? Dear Loretta, she writes, I like my friends, and their opinions have always influenced me. I'm that kind of a girl. But right now, I find myself resenting their inferences that the boy I'm crazy about is not good enough for me, that he wouldn't fit in, as it were. Now, I'll admit he's not very good looking, but he... Oh, well, you know what I mean, Loretta. The only thing that I'm sure of right now is that I'm awfully confused. Well, Sylvia, I think maybe I do know what you mean. But let's see what you think after I repeat a story that was told to me by an Army friend of my husband's. He was out here in California in a rest home a couple of years ago.
How's my neighbor doing, Doc?
Not very well, I'm afraid.
Come on, Doc, tell me. What's wrong with her?
You really want to know? It's battle fatigue.
Battle fatigue? Well, then why isn't she in an Army hospital? Come on, Doc.
Because she didn't fight with the Army. She just had a private little war of her own. And that beautiful body was, and I'm afraid still is, a battleground. She's in a rough state.
She looks pretty good from here.
You just stay on your own side of the fence, Rick, my boy. I don't want any strangers upsetting my patients.
She's no stranger to me, Doc. I know all about Jane Seaton. It's strange to know so much about a person that you've never met. You're right, Doc. She's got a war going on inside her. And in case you haven't guessed it, it's over a man. Mr. Happy Hooten was and is this girl's problem. I'm sure that Hap never wore diapers. He must have been born with those baggy pants.
That's all.
Hey, if you're really here, don't go away.
Oh, I think you're just wonderful. I'm Jane Seaton.
I know, because I think you're wonderful.
Oh.
I could hear you sing all night.
Yes, you usually do. You see, every night I've spotted you hiding in that dark corner. And each night I think tonight he'll come up and introduce himself. But no. Every other fellow in the place comes around, but not Happy Hoot. Why?
Well, you've always got a crowd of fancy people around, and, well, you know how it is.
I know, I don't know how it is. Those so-called fancy people that you talk about are all friends of my family, and they're real bores. You know, if you were a gentleman, you'd rescue me from that kind of company.
Oh, I will, Miss Seaton, next time. Oh, then you must be waiting for Sid. Well, I'll tell him you're here.
No, I don't know any Sid.
Well, who did you come to see?
Why, you clown. I came to see Happy Hooten.
Me?
Yes.
You came just to see me?
Yes, and I loved every minute of this ridiculous act of yours. You know, you really are a crazy man. I'd heard that, and then I asked somebody
Wait
about
a
you, and
minute.
they...
You asked people about me?
Yes.
But why?
Because I wanted to know more about that silent guy in the corner. And I still do. Do you mind?
Do I mind? No.
Mr. Hooten. Well, are you doing anything tonight?
Oh, no, are you? I mean, are you suggesting that...
No, I've given up suggesting, and now I'm asking. How would you like to buy me a drink?
Hey, wait a minute, lady. Look, this happens to be my own face. And this nose, it's my own, too, you know. And this hair, Well, look at all the money I save on fright wigs.
Why don't you go and change, and then I'll wait right here for you, all right?
Crazy.
For the next few weeks, they were never more than a few hours apart. Jane was either at the theater or Hap was at the club.
Hap, I've got a really good booking in Chicago.
Chicago?
Oh, now, don't look like that. It won't be forever, and I'll spend every minute and every nickel on the telephone. And oh, you don't know what it's going to mean to me. To prove to my folks that I'm not going to be stuck singing in this cellar all my life.
They don't like this place, huh?
Like it? The night I opened here, Mother and Dad flew in from California. They flew right back the same night.
Your folks have lots of dough?
That's right, partner. They're loaded.
And they don't take too kindly to your singing?
You know something? You're a regular Swami tonight? You better trade those baggy pants for a crystal ball. Swami Hooten, that's what I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
No, Hap. They've been leading my life too long for me already. Now it's my turn, see?
Well, do they try to stop you?
So far, they've just ignored it.
Hoping that you'll get tired of it and find yourself a handsome Prince Charming and move into his palace.
Yeah, something like that. Hap, you're going to miss me when I'm in Chicago.
Will I miss you? Is my hair black? Is your mouth the most beautiful thing on this earth? Are we the most ridiculous pair sitting here face to face? Yes, I'll miss you.
I know something.
What?
What's the matter, Swami? Your crystal ball all clouded up. Can't you read my mind?
I'm afraid I'm just a comic.
I love you.
Oh, Janie.
You said you were a comic. Why don't you say something funny?
I love you, Janie.
Oh, Hap.
I'll be right back. I gotta see a man about a flood.
But...
About your friend.
What?
Put a sack over his head when he comes in. It don't look so good to have you two sitting in the corner all alone. Makes people wonder what's with Beauty and the Beast. Remember that, will you?
How is my big brute of a boyfriend?
Crazy.
That's good. Because I've decided to give in.
Hey, lady, you shouldn't be so forward. My mother's the head operator, and she'll cut you off if you talk that way to me.
What number are you calling? Oh, one moment. I'll connect you with the head supervisor.
Hello. This is Supervisor Hooten. So you're the Benton young lady who's been annoying my son.
But, Mrs. Hooten, my intentions are honorable. I only called to ask him to marry me.
If you were picking a guy for this girl and it couldn't be you, why, you'd pick a Tyrone Power or a Robert Taylor. But for the first time in her life, Jane did her own picking.
You know, underneath all that garbage, the cake is chocolate.
Oh, Hap, I love you. Who in this whole insane world would be sane enough to order a chocolate wedding cake?
Well, the only reason people sleep on it is because they can't eat that vanilla stuff.
Oh. Thank you.
To Mr. and Mrs. Happy Hooten.
I'll get it. Hello? California calling. Yes, put her on. Hello, Mother? Yes. Yes, I'm down here for a couple of days' engagement, and then I'm going back to New York. And... What? Oh, Mother, you're kidding. Well, I couldn't possibly... Yes, but I just don't understand why you didn't tell me something about it so I could have made my plans. And, well, of course I appreciate it, Mother, but I just couldn't. All right, I'll try. Yes, I'll call you back tomorrow. Goodbye. My father's arranged a screen test for me. I'm supposed to be in California by Friday.
You haven't told them you're married. You didn't send the wire.
I just couldn't. I was going to call them, and, well, it's going to be difficult enough for them to understand, and, oh, I don't know, wire seems so cold somehow. I thought maybe I could handle it best by the phone, you know.
Well, here's to the giant screen.
Oh, don't joke, please.
But I'm not joking. That's where you belong. Right up there on the screen where millions of people can see you.
But this is supposed to be our honeymoon.
What's wrong with a honeymoon in California? Better still, you go out there alone, make your test, tell your folks about the fool you married, and prepare the geniuses in general in Hollywood for the arrival of the one and only Happy Hooten.
I do love you so, Hap.
And I love you, Janie.
And I'm so lucky to have you.
You're lucky. Did you see the look on the hotel clerk's face when he saw me walk in with you? Why, he must have thought I was the richest man in the world, or else you lost a bet.
Couldn't it just be that we loved each other?
Not a chance. Folks don't figure that way.
Jane had been in Hollywood a little over 2 weeks. Hap just couldn't stand it any longer, so he canceled his Eastern bookings, borrowed a few $100 and headed west. He didn't tell Jane he was coming. It was to be a surprise. It was a surprise, all right.
Hello. Would you please get me Miss Jane Seaton at the Empire Studios? Yeah. Tell her Swami is calling.
Print the first long shot only. We'll get the close-up now, and then Miss Seaton will change her other dress. Let me know when you're ready, Philip.
Excuse me, Mr. Granger. There's a call from Miss Seaton. The operator has a party on the line for you that she can't seem to get rid of.
Who is it?
The operator's laughing so hard she can't quite get it out. I think she said salami.
Swami! Yes, I'll take it. Where's the phone?
Right over here.
Thank you. Hap! Hap, where are you? Oh, why didn't you tell me? Oh, no. No, Hap, don't come to the studio. I'm almost through for the day, and then I'll meet you at the hotel. No, it's just that I don't want to see you with a lot of people around. Yes, of course I do. Yeah. Goodbye, Hap.
Bad news?
Oh, no.
Are you all right?
Yeah, sure.
I guess it was just about this moment when Jane's conscience opened fire and the war within her was declared. How would Hap fit into this new world she hoped so desperately would be her world? What was it the boss said back in that joint?
Put a sack over his head when he comes in. It don't look so good to have you two sitting in the corner all alone. Makes people wonder what's with Beauty and the Beast.
Jane was ashamed of Hap. She wished he hadn't come. She was ashamed of the sweetest guy she'd ever met. Ashamed of the man she was in love with.
Jane.
So good to see you.
Gee, you're looking great, baby.
Oh, thank you. You old devil, you. You got yourself a new suit, huh?
Like it?
Oh, I think it's just beautiful. But isn't the horse going to be a little cold without it, huh?
Ha ha, funny girl. Here, let me take your wrap. Well, how's it going? Do they think you're great or are they all crazy?
Oh, it's going just fine, Hap. We should see the test tomorrow and... Oh. Not another chocolate wedding cake. Hap, you're just wonderful.
You're glad I came out?
You know I am. Hap,
Hey, look, if I don't tell any mother-in-law jokes, can I meet your family one of these days?
Of course.
Oh, you haven't told me you're married, have you?
No.
Well, what they don't know won't hurt them or us. champagne. California.
My favorite, huh? I love you.
I hope so. Hey, how about this place? I sure hope they have the room service well oiled. Because I figure we're going to stay here at least a week.
Oh, Hap, I can't stay here.
No.
Well, what would I tell my folks?
Just tell them that you're married. It seems a logical thing at this point.
Yeah, all right, I'll tell them, Hap. I'll tell them tomorrow. Hap, kiss me.
Jane's test was a success, and the studio immediately placed her in one of their elaborate musicals. That week passed, and the next, and Jane still hadn't taken Hap to see her family. But every day, Hap was convinced that every day was going to be the day. Jane always called him when she was held up at the studio or had to go right home because of an early call the next morning. She phoned, but Hap never really knew what she expected him to do. She should have known he wasn't the kind who could wait and hide in a hotel room. But he did wait.
Two of the newest members of the film colony, Jane Seton and Jack Granger. Mr. Granger is Miss Seton's director. Lately, he's been watching her moves on and off the set.
Jane, will you try it once more?
Yes. But, Michael, you know I can't be in Monte Carlo by the 25th.
That's very good, but try it with a little more voice.
Yes.
Oh, Miss Seton.
Yes.
Sorry to barge in this way, Janie.
Oh, you're not barging in. We're just about to shoot my number. Come on over. I want you to meet Jack Granger.
I'd like to, but I've a train to catch.
Train?
Yep, I'm going on the road again.
On the road? Well, where?
Oh, I don't know exactly where.
What happened? When did all this happen?
Just this morning.
Oh, I see. Well, look, I'll be finished here in a week or two, and then I'll join you just as soon as I can. And
I'm afraid you won't be able to join me on this tour, Janie.
No?
No, you see, I re-enlisted in the Army. I'm sure the boys in Korea would like me to bring you along, but there's a water fight, and it'd make everybody forget it.
Oh, Hap, you didn't. But why?
Why? I don't know exactly why, but I'm not sure of anything anymore. I think this is the best way.
We're ready for you, Miss Seton.
Yes, I'm coming.
Bye, Janie.
But, Hap, you just can't. Please, please don't, Hap.
Make all your pictures in Technicolor, honey. I couldn't stand to see you in just black and white.
Please, Hap, don't.
Oh, come on, don't do that. It's catching. And I can't join the Army with big red eyes.
But, Hap, you just can't walk out.
So long, Janie. Be a big star. I know that's what you want.
Hap.
Jane didn't become a big star or a little star. Her first picture was her last. Because when Hap walked out that door, he took all that was worthwhile of Jane Seton with him. Korea. This is where I come in. Hap and I were both old retreads, so we just kind of fell in together. Hap was, for me and all the other guys in the outfit, the most pleasant incident in a dreary, horrible war. He had a way of making us all see things through his wonderful comic eyes. Whenever Hap wasn't laughing it up, he was talking about Jane. After 2 years, I learned a lot of jokes and everything about Jane Seton.
Nothing works out. Nothing works. They're Miss Seton.
I haven't heard from Hap for well over a year. And the last news wasn't so good. He and Jane were divorced, and Happy Hooten was playing any dates he could pick up. She must still be in love with Hap, or she wouldn't be here. When Hap used to talk about Jane Seton, she was just a character in a story that I hated because of what she'd done to him. But now that she was real to me, and I'd seen what she'd done to herself, I felt sorry for her. In the beginning, our attraction toward Hap must have been more of a rebellion against her background. A rebellion that turned into a love affair, and then to this. When she rejected Hap because he didn't fit into the very background she had tried to escape from by choosing him.
How crazy can you get? Folks, if you pass up Crazy Maxie's offer for your old car, then you're really nuts.
It was Hap on a local station doing spot announcements. Should I call him and tell him Jane was here, or tell Jane?
Now I ask you folks, how crazy can you get? Certainly no wackier than Crazy Maxie. Why, he's so nuts he's giving his stock away of used cars right this very minute. So come on down to 5th and Forest and meet the craziest man in town.
Operator, will you try to get me the local radio station, please?
Anybody home?
Hap! Hap! Don't leave me. Please, Hap, don't leave me. Don't, please don't.
I won't.
Case history closed.
You know, Sylvia, true love is a rare thing. And if you feel in your heart that you've come near it, don't toss it away to please your friends. Or your pride, as Jane Seton almost did. Shakespeare summed that up rather nicely. Let me not, to the marriage of true minds, admit impediments. For love is not love which alters, when it alteration finds. Good night. I'll see you next week.
Visit Loretta Young again next week, same time, same station.